Let's go now to Charlotte Maxeke Hospital, where eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu is, where he has noticed and has been monitoring that patients are struggling to access health services there. Manqoba now joins us from there live. An ever-moving story, this, as we now see the impact of the strike that started earlier this week. What is the situation at what is a very, very important hospital in Gauteng, Manqoba?
Well, Marcel, I can tell you that the situation is still quite dire here at Charlotte Maxeke. In fact, many of the patients here have bore the brunt of this strike. We saw quite a number of them being turned back this morning, being asked to make another appointment. We were told by some of them that they were allowed by the protesting workers to go through to the hospital, but they were told when they got to the hospital that they could not get any service. We understand that the wards here, some of them are empty. There are only one or two nurses that are working inside those wards, and it just tells you, Mfundo, just how the strike has affected services here. You can see many of the workers are out here on the streets. They are protesting outside in the streets. Some of them still wearing their uniforms. There are nurses that are here on the streets that are part of this protest. And of course, you recall that government had warned against some of those essential services workers partaking in the strike, saying that by law they're not supposed to take place or to take part in a strike. But of course, the union saying that they've been left with little choice but to take to the streets to ensure that their wage demand of 10% is heard. And they're saying that it's government that ultimately has to take responsibility for the lives of these patients, because as the unions, they've made it quite clear that they won't accept this 4.7%. They insist they want a 10% increase, saying that government is negotiating in bad faith, given that last year government unilaterally implemented a 3% wage increase. And this is despite some of the agreements that have been made back in 2018, the 3-year agreement that had been made with government as far as the wages are concerned. So they are saying that they really have no other choice but to take to the streets to ensure that their voice is heard and their dissatisfaction is heard as far as their salaries are concerned. I can tell you that many of the entrances here at the hospital have been blockaded. The ambulances are also struggling to get inside some of the wards. The patients are allowed, though, to go inside, but they're not getting any services at this particular stage. But I'm going to speak to some of the workers just to get a sense from them why they are here on the streets. Siswami, if you can just tell me what are you doing inside the hospital and why are you here?
I'm working as a nurse here. We're here to strike for 10%. If government were to have failed us, we've been working as nurses kanzima kabi for ukuthi siyenzele government wethu ukuthi abe right, but yena akasicabangeli. We are here as strikers, sistrikela 10%, sistrikela ilona yezindlu, sistrikela yonke into na wonke umuntu, including mina. I'm working here as a contract worker, including nathi ama contract workers. Asisayifuni contract, sifuna ukuthi government wethu asirenewele aphinde futhi asiphe nama permanent, ngoba we've been risking our life sisebenze lana for isikhathi eside, sisebenza under covid, icovid isiphathile. Now that government wethu akasasicabangeli, and then government wethu uqasha abantu from outside, meanwhile thina sikhona la. So we're here for that. Sifuna government wethu ukuthi as prioritize as abasebenzi bakhe, as we have risked our life. Sifuna le 10%, sifuna imali yezindlo, sifuna ukuthi nama contract workers bathathwe permanent.
Well, the lady explaining here that she's one of the contract nurses here at the hospital. She's also part of this protest, and she says that what they are demanding is a 10% increase and the housing allowance of 2,500 rand that the unions are demanding. She says that as nurses, they feel as if they are not being taken seriously by government. They want government to prioritize them, given the fact that even under COVID, they had to work under difficult circumstances. So they're saying that they're not not going to budge as far as those wage demands are concerned. Let me speak to you now, Siswami. When are you also here on the streets? I mean, why are you here on the streets, and what is it that you want in terms of the salary or wage demand?
Okay, I'm here in the streets because of we demanding 10% of salary increment. As we were in the COVID-19 2020, we were working here, and the first patient with COVID was here, and we were working here all along, and then everything, COVID-19, 2020, 2021, we were there, and then no salary increment, everything was up, the petrol is up, everything is up, and now asina lutho because of if ever only ingane imo university, akhono patela everything dikhuphukile, and then abantu babangwe bashona mo bashona aba replace, and then babatla hore motho we one nurse or wa artisan asebenze umsebenzi wa batho be 10 or be 20, which is not allowed and which is not right, because bari demoralizer abarthathi as serious as basebenzi ba essential workers. We were here every time, even though if COVID-19 we were there, and azange rene re sebenza as an essential worker. Manje re batho bana ba bathathanga ba EPWP, and bona as a contractor, baba permanent, because we wanna everything or right.
Okay, so the lady explaining there just at the end that they feel that they want government actually to improve their wages because they cannot afford. The cost of living has gone up, petrol has gone up, food has gone up, and so they can't afford to live with the salary that they're getting. She also made a point that the First Lady spoke about, the fact that they want those contract workers also to be absorbed into the system, also to be given the same rights as they have been, some of the nurses that are of course permanent here. So as you can see, Marcel, of course the workers are here. We understand that this hospital is working at skeletal staff. In fact, this is one of the gates, Marcel, here outside of the hospital. This is gate 6, which is an emergency access gate for ambulances that come into the hospital. That has been closed, of course, by the striking workers. There are also other entrances here that have been affected, that have been blockaded by the striking workers, and the patients, we've seen them, some of them being allowed to go into the hospital, but as far as services are concerned, they are not getting any of the services, and this just tells you how serious this strike has become.